We turn now to the one, the only Professor Michael Eric Dyson. He's the author of over 20 books. His latest is Long Time Coming, Reckoning with Race in America. It's out this week. He wants you to go get it, and I want what he wants. Good to see you, sir.
Bless you for that, man. I appreciate that so much. It's good to see you as well.
Let's get right to it. It's got so much serious topics. Sometimes you write as these letters. You write, Dear Emmett Till, slow terror bleeds into every crevice of black existence. It's not difficult to understand how Ferguson fatally combusted into screeching chaos, several decades of aggressive and intemperate policing, the unyielding bias and deeply rooted racism in societal institutions, the astonishing and persistent social inequality, an unreliable escalator to upward mobility, growing shakier by the day. Tell us what you're saying and why you said it this way.
Yeah, I'm saying that what we saw in Ferguson, what we see in so many poor black communities, is the accumulation of hurt, of trauma over decades and sometimes over centuries. Professor Walter Johnson has a brilliant book that traces it from the history of enslavement down to what happened with Mike Brown in St. Louis. So we know that that community, like so many others, are under enormous attack and enormous assault. And when you see them fatally combust, when you see them finally explode, it is not something that was lit, a fuse lit just yesterday. It's been lit for quite a while. And the inequality, the social injustice, the inability to have access to housing that is fair and just, the inability to have educational opportunities that provide people an entree into the middle class, along with home ownership. When you look at all of those deficits that people of color endure, especially black people, finally, when a police person kills a black person, that is igniting something that has been indeed building up for so long.
Yeah, and that's why the history is so alive. Indeed, there may be areas of life where some people feel they have a fresh start. They can live without the oppression or the knowledge of history, and it's just kind of an intellectual choice. And you're really recounting how racism makes that not available for so many people because of ongoing historical oppression and everything that it leads to, which brings us to the policing issues that now are at the forefront of pressures on the Biden administration. Barack Obama was talking about, hey, you got to stop Mitch McConnell before he stops you. But Obama, anything he did get done was earlier in the first term. Will police reform be big? This is already, I want to get your views on it. Politico reporting Democrats' own internal battles. House Democrats have a bill that would do something that many have called for, which is just ending this type of immunity for police. Biden hasn't gone that far, instead saying they want to, quote, rein it in, and providing little indication of what that looks like. Your view on that issue and how important should it be in a Biden era?
That's a healthy discussion. Isn't it beautiful to have a return to internecine squabbles among parties? Not the total subversion of democracy, not the neo-fascism, not the shadow government that this ostensible post-presidency will provide for us. I mean, Donald Trump is engaging in a soft coup, they say, but maybe in a coup that is silent, but at the same time trying to subvert democracy. It's a return to business as usual in the best sense of that word. I think the Democrats ought to hammer that out. I think that those who understand that policing has been detrimental, and for everyone who says, oh, no, let's just reform the police, that's been tried for a long time. We have tried a lot of stuff, but police unions are so powerful that the attempt to rein in police departments is often thwarted by the independent, autonomous, and outrageous, and sometimes it seems to me, nearly unlawful practices of police unions. And at the same time, when we talk about community policing, where police pay attention to those neighborhoods that they come from, maybe because if I'm from part of the community, I see my uncle, my aunt, my cousin, it's kinship. And because of kinship, I won't treat you as dreadfully as other cops may do. So I think that battle is a necessary one. Are we talking about reform from within? Are we talking about abolition? And let's not forget, in the 1800s, they had an argument about abolition of slavery, and a lot of white people and others were opposed to that. But eventually it became the law of the land, and it made for better communication and better democracy in this country. Perhaps policing is headed in the same direction.
Yeah, and you see that distance, as you mentioned, between Biden and others, and that's an important one, particularly because you have to act fast, typically in an administration. I'm running out of time, but you are joining us on December 4th. We want to wish, on behalf of The Beat, a happy birthday to Sean Carter, to Jay-Z today, which is someone that you've worked with, that you've written about. Your thoughts?
I mean, he said I would write it if y'all could get it, but being intricate will get your wood critics on the internet. They're like, you should spit it. I'm like, you should buy it, like my book. That's good business, right? And so I want my boy Zuwike gave me a shirt, long time coming. And if you're a good man, and I think you are, I'm going to get you one as well, man. Ari Melber, Zuwike, Hove, Dyson, long time coming. You know what it is. December 4th. What more can I say?
What more can I say? Look, I haven't gotten close to Jay the way you have, but he is a businessman. I'm sure he would appreciate you wrapping a shout out with supporting a new book. And we all need to support literature and bookstores and all the rest. Professor, thanks for joining us. The book is a long time coming. Reckoning with Race in America. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.